What we pay attention to grows. In beloved community, we rely on each other. When someone passes us that baton, we take it and we do our part until we can pass it on. It is truly a collaborative relationship built in trust and resiliency. Yes, trust and resiliency are necessary. And I know those things are hard right now, given the state of our world and all that we've gone through over the last 4, 5, or 6 years. It's been tough, but trust is vital. Leading with trust is how we make our fractal patterns spread far and wide. Unitarian Universalism needs a new way to be so that we can grow at the speed of trust, as Adrienne Maree Brown puts it. Now, what we've done so far in our community, in the communities that we serve, has been good. But we can also be great. Being great means that this congregation becomes more racially diverse. And being great means we embrace emotional literacy. That is, learning how to struggle with expressing in an affirmative way our underlying feelings and needs in non-judgmental ways. And we're still, some of us, hesitant to embrace racial literacy. So we have some embracing, some going deeper to do. All of this that I'm talking about is, of course, the human condition, and we all struggle as human beings. But we can always do better. We do better by embracing new paradigms, new ways of thinking. That's why I love Adrienne Maree Brown's book so much, Emergent Strategies. She says that we have to evolve. We have to learn how to trust, how to be resilient, how to decentralize leadership, how to pay attention to things that will help us grow. And I trust her voice because she has been a part of grassroots movement, including Black Lives Matter. She's seen the power of groups when they work in solidarity, in their unified understanding of differences. But she's also seen groups when they've devolved in their trust, when bitterness and despair, blaming becomes a focus and unhealthy things get attention. I've already mentioned that what we pay attention to grows, and so I won't go any deeper with this one, but let's look at resiliency, because that's what I've been alluding to. To be resilient is being able to recover from adversity. We fall down, but we get back up. And sometimes we have to stay down for a while to recover, but getting back up means we come back to the table of beloved community. We don't lose hope for building and being in right relationship. And that is, we keep coming back for more if we truly believe in what we're doing and the values that we're holding together. Resiliency is necessary in beloved community. We must keep making lemonade out of those lemons. And why? So that we can have some semblance of joy and love in this existence. If we don't convert that negative into positive time and time again, we get caught up in the toxicities of life. So I think healthy cells seek health. Healthy people seek health. Adrienne Maree Brown says the same. So what I try to do is that my mistakes are really lessons for me to learn and grow from. I look at life as a journey and not a judgment or prison sentence. It's a horrible way to live. And as a result, I hopefully attract and create that which I am, because I am a fractal of Fibonacci sequence pattern of cyclical matter. I am my beliefs. And these things have worked for me. So I guess I'll keep trying them. Trust. Trust is indeed earned. I get that. But trust also starts with a premise. Do I see others as a liability or an asset? Or maybe both. If I see humanity as a liability, I'm going to keep my guard up, and most of the time, my experience of life will be limited. If I see humans as myself, then I can let my guard down a lot more. If I can see myself in every human being, it changes my perspective. I realize I'm looking at myself, that we are more alike than unalike. Yes, when you let your guard down, you run the risk of being hurt, but without risk, there is no reward. Now, if you say, well, it's both, then you are with me, letting your guard down, putting your guard up, but mostly open, because I believe human beings, organisms, cells seek health. That's what Adrienne Maree Brown says. That's what Reverend Anastasia and I believe, that human beings seek and want to be healthy. So most of us, even though we trust and verify, we can also let our guard down more often than not, because humans want to be healthy. Even when they don't know that, they want to choose health. And I'm sensitive to this reality. I also know that many have been traumatized and hurt by others. So I don't take this lightly, what I'm saying. But even in those cases, without trust, you cannot heal from the harm that's been done. And I know it takes time, but trust in any system is vital to its success. It's vital to its sustainability and its continuity. If you're struggling with trust today, I ask you to examine your fears and your biases, your overall motives. Fear is real, and life is crazy scary, can be lonely at times, but life can also be lovely and caring at times. What you pay attention to grows, for better or for worse. Be careful what you're giving your attention to. And that's why, quite frankly, I had to turn off the news. After that very disappointing impeachment, I had to let go, turn it off. It was too toxic. It was feeding too much negativity into my life. I was having a visceral reaction. I knew it was time for a break, time to meditate and pray. So now in the morning, instead of turning on the news to find out what's going on, I sit in silence with my tea, sometimes, mostly it's my coffee. With trust, then we can collaborate, we can work together, we can build a beloved community, and we can also trust that the work will get done. I truly don't want to be one of those leaders who has to have their nose in every conversation and everything that's going on. To me, that's insecure leadership. I also don't want to be the kind of leader that has to lead everything. I don't mind leading some things, and I don't mind following in some things. But shared leadership is, I think, a new paradigm. The old paradigm, which I want to describe as predatory, was based on conquering people, places, and things, people as widgets, lining people up, ordering them to do things. That paradigm has not worked for our society. The new paradigm is based in collaboration, modeling shared leadership, which is what Reverend AZ and I are trying to do, and building decentralized power. Decentralized power, that's what Black Lives Matter is. It's decentralized leadership. You can't target one particular leader. There are leaders all across the world. In the old way, you could kill one person and stop the movement. And this, of course, was the flaw of the civil rights movement. Too much power rested with one person. And that creates burnout, envy, and disorganization. The work Reverend AZ and I want to do with you means that each one of you has your own ministry. You are the church's social justice. Certainly we have ACT and prison ministry, Habitat for Humanity, all the things that we do and have done, but also we believe that the work you do at the church, outside the church, in your personal life is the work of Unitarian Universalism if you carry your values with you. And I know you do. Which is why I'm excited to say that I and Reverend AZ are planning to have a meeting with every member and friend where we all come together, not individually, so we can have a conversation about what you do related to social justice in the community, personally or professionally, inside, outside our doors. We just want to have a conversation and see how far and wide our work goes. Find out what kind of joy you're experiencing. Find out what challenges you have. See if there are any gaps. See what new ministries that we can co-create. It's exciting to think about doing a co-creative collaboration with you. So that's what decentralized leadership looks like. Many different ministries, many different places where people are spending their time and talent and treasure. That's decentralized leadership. And when you trust each other and you know the other person's got your back, that they're going to take that baton and run with it, and you can trust it, they're going to do their part. You don't have to worry about if everything is getting done. You don't have to worry about having your name attached to everything. That's faith-based ministry, not ego-based ministry. So that's what we're looking to do in the days ahead. I've always seen Unitarian Universalist churches as places where activists go to get recharged. We might come here with a half a tank, a quarter of a tank, or even an empty tank, but we get recharged by this kinetic spirit, by this great music, by our beloved community. I do have one example of how this decentralized leadership works and is working currently. My wife, Joni, she works for a very large governmental agency, and they have thousands of employees, and they were having a meeting about teamwork and trying to find some best practices that they would share with all the employees later on. Well, of course, Joni is carrying her UU values with her, and when asked, she spoke up and said, "We're more alike than unalike." And she also added, "We are part of an interdependent web," one of our principles, the seventh principle. Well, when the printout of the meeting came out and people got the information, there it was, large and prominent, what she said. I was so excited when she told me that story. And that's what being a Unitarian Universalist is all about. It's not about who gets the credit. I don't do what I do for others to get the credit. I do it because it's in my heart. I do it because it was what I was called to do. I do it because it's life-affirming, life-sustaining, life-saving work. Why do you do what you do? This new way that your ministers are building is not about competition, but instead collaboration. I like the saying, and something I originated, competition creates champions, but collaboration creates community. Competition creates champions, but collaboration creates community. That's our goal. But in summary, let's together focus on what helps us grow. Let's decide on trust. Let's assume that people want to be healthy and work toward health in their mental, emotional, spiritual lives. Let's choose resiliency to keep coming back again and again, to keep doing this great work, even though sometimes we have to take a break. And let me not forget, let's find some joy. Because building beloved community is not just about doing the hard work, but it's also about joy in doing the work, in being together. Church is as much about celebration as it is service. It's as much about joy as it is with justice making. It's both and. And Reverend AZ and I, we really enjoy working together. Joy, I like that word. enjoy. I-N-joy. Enjoy. If your work does not have any joy, if you're not working in joy, then it may be time for a reassessment. Perhaps you're imbalanced. Perhaps the work is becoming predatorial. And as I said last week, predatorial behaviors and practices, old paradigm stuff will eventually go extinct. In this new emerging age, we must develop emergent strategies modeled after successful organisms in nature. So I encourage you to read Ms. Brown's book to understand how to align your work and life with a fractal pattern that will replicate and grow in healthy and sustaining ways. And that's why I try to bring joy to my job, joy to my work. Even though some weeks it's really rough because this is hard work, but you rest, you recover, and you come back. That's resiliency because we believe in love and justice and joy. And we believe in Unitarian Universalism and the values we hold. And that's why we come back on Sunday for a shot of joy. That's our vaccine in this very sick and toxic world. But it's a world that's also filled with a million brilliant and beautiful things. So I want to stop here and give Reverend AZ the floor again. She gets the last word today. But I hope my words provide some clarity in it and insight into this, our beloved community. Blessings and love to you. May it be so.